Well, the change of guard in the United States with Donald Trump becoming president now for the second time is certainly the biggest story internationally. What will the next several years hold for the United States and I dare say the world? Joining us now, one of the finest analysts of what's happening in America, Kenneth Rogoff. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
There are a couple of important announcements made by Trump yesterday. First of all, he has said that there are going to be full pardons for 1,500 people involved with the January 6th rioters or who were part of the group rioting. To many, that would send America back because what took place back then was against what America stands for. Your views?
I mean, I think there's some people who shouldn't be pardoned. Probably a lot of them should be. That there was the Democrats did a lot of lawfare in their period, and I think he's pulling back on some of it. But where people hurt someone or someone died, that's different.
He's declared a national emergency on the southern border with Mexico. Now, we do know that concerns over illegal immigration has been primary for Donald Trump. But how do you see this extreme step playing out?
The Biden-Harris border policy was insane. I've never heard anybody explain it to me. Legal immigration is great, but you know what? My graduate students who get a PhD, get an offer from a great university or a great job, can't stay because they can't get a green card. But if you come across the Mexican border illegally, and at least 9 million people did, maybe 15 million people under Biden, it was no problem. That needs a realignment. In his first term, Trump cut back on both. Elon Musk seems to be persuading him that we need the talented engineers from India and elsewhere. So it is a crisis on the southern border. That was the single craziest policy that Biden had, and he's not going to stop immigration. The border's huge. It was, I think, 2 million people cumulatively under him, but certainly sending a message to try to slow it down.
You mentioned the word India. There are a lot of people from India, highly skilled, highly educated in the United States, who look for H-1B visas, with the hope that they can work in America. Do you believe that there's going to be any change in that policy?
I hope so. I mean, I think it would be fantastic for the United States. I don't know if it's fantastic for India, but
we have a brain drain issue.
It's fantastic for the United States. And Biden just seemed to follow Trump's policy on legal immigration. He didn't relax it at all. So yes, we should have a much more relaxed policy on highly educated people who have a lot to contribute. I'm not saying that there aren't people who are, have less education who don't have a lot to contribute, but it should all be legal immigration, some rational system.
He also spoke about TikTok, which is very much in the headlines. He says he seemed to indicate that for the moment, TikTok would be back. He would pass some sort of executive orders. Who does TikTok ultimately go to? At least 50% of TikTok? Will it be Elon Musk or somebody else? How do you see the Trump administration dealing with this issue? Because it's freedom of speech versus national security in a sense.
So I'm sympathetic to the national security on many lines. There are many things we've done with China where we haven't been careful. On the other hand, we're just stealing their technology here, and I see their point of view too. I think selling it to Elon Musk would be a bad look for democracy in the country. He already has Twitter, and even Twitter and TikTok are big monopolies, and combining them would not be great. So hopefully that won't happen. I'm not sure who the other buyers are, though.
Right. We don't know at the moment. What about identity politics? Because he said that there are only two sexes, male and female. There is no other. There is no other sex. So, I mean, in terms of politics, gender politics, identity politics, some would suggest that this is a deep step backward. Your views?
Well, we had gone to another extreme. His extreme is also not acceptable, and I don't think most American people support that. I think most American people supported transgender rights, et cetera, but it was taken to an extreme where they didn't. And so trying to find some middle ground, I don't know what he's really going to do. I don't think you can turn the clock back, but, clearly he's saying things that are very hurtful to many people, and that's ugly and, not welcome.
Is there any quick-fire solution to the Ukraine-Russia war?
I don't know. We'll find out. I think that the questions, does Putin have something he would accept? I mean, we can imagine what Trump would accept or what Zelensky would accept, but I don't know if Putin can accept a ceasefire. But I think those in Europe who believe, the only end game is for Putin to be defeated and Russia to be crushed and the Crimea to be retaken, aren't realistic at the moment. I mean, there's a danger that Ukraine's going to lose this war by attrition. Mm-hmm. So some kind of freezing of the border, stopping of the conflict is good. But you have to guarantee the security. So I don't see how you do that without bringing NATO to the border of wherever it is. Yeah. And Putin says, I don't want NATO at my border. Finland's already at his border. So I think there's going to be a deal along those lines, but the big unknown is Putin.
Yeah. A couple of questions more. India and the United States, we have a very close strategic relationship. Do you believe that there would be continuity from the Democrats to the Republicans, from Biden to Trump?
I do. I mean, I think if anything, Trump, as very practical, wanting to maintain strong relations with India. The tariffs are not pretty, though. I mean, he wants to put tariffs on everyone, and I think he will. And that's going to be very difficult for India. It's also going to be difficult for India to complain about because, you have, along with Brazil, the highest tariffs of any major country now. But that's a headwind. But, it's not insurmountable.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Kenneth Rogoff there, going through some of the key points which President Trump spoke about in his inaugural address. Let's see how this all plays out. But several key measures which have been announced already, as many would have expected.